Hi everyone, today we will describe 3 important artwork in our July 21st, 2024 Chinese art auction. Later, we will talk more myths about deer. Lot number 1 is an exquisite Jade incense burner with 5 deer. The starting price is $3,000. The dimension is 8.7 inches by 6.1 inches by 1.77 inches. The statue features an incense burner in the middle adorned with intricate carvings. At the top of the lid, a graceful deer standing with Ru Yi in his mouth, gazing serenely to the left side. Surrounding the pot, 4 more deer are symmetrically positioned at equal intervals. Each captures in lifelike poses. The jade's natural creamy white hues enhance the vitality, and the smooth and polished surface contrasts beautifully with the dedicated details. The overall composition is elegant and harmonious, showcasing the excellent craftsmanship of Jade artistry. Lot 76 is a huge vintage red lacquer jar, low relief with fantastic scene. The starting price is $1,800. The weight is 18.8 pounds. The dimension is 16.93 inches by 13.38 inches by 10.63 inches. The jar is a stunning piece of artifact featuring a richly detailed scene wrapping around its surface. The deep crimson hue provides a striking impression for the intricately carved imagery. An old Chinese scholar and a young kid appear for 3 times within the natural scene. The scholar is with the air of wisdom and tranquility, and the young kid is a smart one who is learning from the scholar. The background reveals a serene mountain and water landscape. Majestic mountains rise in the distance, and their peaks are partially obscured by mist. Meanwhile, gently flowing rivers or lakes add a scene of calm and continuity. Some robust pine trees stand around, and their branches twist elegantly and adorned with delicate pine needles. The top and bottom parts are scattered with various flowers. The floral elements are carved with meticulous attention to the details. They enhance the overall aestheticism. The combination of these elements creates a balanced composition, reflecting the traditional Chinese themes of nature, learning, and peace. The low relief technique gives the scene a textured, 3-dimensional quality, inviting viewers to appreciate the craftsmanship from every angle. A Qianlong poem about red lacquer is on the black bottom. Lot 10 is a Tibetan gilt gold bronze statue with King Gesar. The dimension is 12.2 inches by 8.86 inches. The weight is 8.36 pounds. The statue of King Gesar, depicted as a general, is striking and a majestic representation crafted in gilt gold bronze. He is mounted on a dynamic horse, embodying both power and motion. The horse's muscular form and flowing mane are meticulously detailed, giving the impression of spirited movement. King Gesar himself is dressed in elaborate armor, indicative of his status and role as a warrior king. The armor is intricately designed, with ornate patterns and embellishments that highlight the craftsmanship of the statue. His helmet, adorned with traditional motifs, adds his regal and commanding presence. In his left hand, King Gesar tenaciously grasps a flowing flag which catches a powerful wind, symbolizing his leadership in the battles. His right hand holds a whip and commands over his steed, an emblem of control, a poised yet authoritative demeanor metaphorically over the battlefield. The gilt gold finish enhances its visual impact, catching the light and adding a sense of divine radiance to the figure. The combination of gold and bronze gives the statue a timeless quality, connecting the legendary King Gesar with both historic reverence and artistic brilliance. The skilled artisan brings the mythic figure to life. Let's talk about the deer myths. Deer playing significant roles in the myths and folklore of various cultures around the world. These graceful and elusive creatures often symbolize a range of attributes. In Chinese mythology, deer are considered auspicious, gentle, and long-lived animals. In the artwork, the deer is symbolized of longevity, prosperity, wealth, nobility, and success. The word of deer, lu, is also homonym for emoluments, salary, which are favored by the officers. In Celtic mythology, deer are often seen as magical creatures that act as female messengers of or guides from the other world. The woman Sadber mates with the hero Fionn, but resumes her deer shape. Later, she gives birth to the hero Oisin, whose name means little fawn, little deer. They are associated with deities such as Cernunnos, or the horde god of animals and fertility. Phletus, the goddess of the forest, of venery or sexual gratification, who is driving in a chariot drawn by deer. Selbute, a son of the king of Munster, died while chasing an otherworldly deer. Together with 13 warriors, 13 attendants, and 13 deer hounds. Many Native American tribes revere deer as sacred animals. For example, the Cherokee have a myth about the deer bringing fire to humans, while the Navajo view the deer as a symbol of swiftness and endurance. The deer woman, a spirit in various tribes, is a powerful figure often associated with fertility and transformation. In the southeast woodlands, the deer is a leader of the four-footed clans. In the southwestern tribes of the Yaqui people, the deer dance is enacted to encourage food and fraternity among people and animals. The deer is believed to be a rain bringer with the ability to dispense thunder and lightning, which fertilizes the earth. The Lakota has another myth about deer. A friendly spirit gives to each animal the means of protecting itself. To the deer, it gives speed. However, one day, the spirit finds an ungainly young deer cannot run fast. Therefore, it gives the deer spots on the skin to help the newborn camouflage in the woodland until the deer is able to run more swiftly. In Japan, deer are considered sacred messengers of the gods. Particularly in Shinto belief, in Nara, the deer are protected and roam freely around the city, believed to be messengers of the Kasuga shrine deities. The Shinto deity Takaminakata is often associated with deer. In Hindu mythology, deer are associated with several gods and goddesses. For instance, Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and learning, is sometimes depicted with a deer. The deer is also linked to the moon and represents the gentle, fleeting nature of life. In the Vedic religion, ancient Indian, Vayu, god of the winds, is often portrayed riding on a deer. The animal is particularly significant to Buddhism, as it is associated with the first sermon preached by Buddha in the deer park at Sarnath. Deer are depicted on either side of the wheel of the law in Buddhist tradition and are related to mediation, gentleness, and meekness. The deer king, known as Ruru in the 2nd century BCE in India, is one of the benevolent animals that the Buddha reincarnates in his previous life to do good deeds. The deer king saves a joined man and is betrayed by him. The story advocates justice, praises great and noble virtues, condemns ungrateful and evil souls, and further promotes the idea that good is rewarded and evil is punished. The Greek goddess Artemis, the goddess of the hunt and wilderness, is often depicted with a stag or deer. The myth of Actaeon, a hunter turned into a stag by Artemis as punishment for seeing her bathing, highlights the sacred and untouchable nature of the deer. The deer is sacred to the moon goddesses Artemis, Aphrodite, and Athena, and is also sacred to Apollo, to Delphi. In Norse mythology, the stag Fafnir stands atop Valhalla, the hall of the slain, and nibbles on the branches of the tree of life. drizzle. The stag symbolizes the connection between the earthly realm and the divine. In Slavic folklore, the deer is often a symbol of the sun and renewal. The white deer is a mythical creature that appears in several tales, representing purity and the mystical connection between the human world and nature. In some African cultures, deer are revered as wise and elusive creatures. The myths often highlight the deer's intelligence and its role as a guide or trickster. In Christian art and literature, the deer often symbolizes piety, devotion, and the soul's longing for God. The image of a deer drinking from a stream is associated with the Psalm 42:1, "As a deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God." In St. Patrick's story, he writes a famous hymn, "The Deer's Cry," as a memorial to having escaped from his enemies by taking one on the form of the deer. He's merely using a form of a pigeon invocation called the Fetty-Fat deer's shape, which is for people to express their wishes to become invisible to observation. In ancient Egypt, the deer is sacred to Osiris. In some myths, humans take on the form of deer. The magician Mongan is a notable one. In another saga, in order to extend his life, Tuan Mac Carrel lived as a deer for many years before he metamorphoses into the shapes of other creatures. In Mesoamerican culture, Mixcoatl, the Aztec god of hunting, has a companion, a two-headed deer. In Mayan art, the deer appears at the base of supporting pillars, means the foundation of the society and religion. Human forms with the deer's heads are also a common feature of Maya art. These myths and stories illustrate the universal fascination with the deer and their significance in human culture and spirituality across different regions and eras. Welcome to visit Quarong Gallery for your favorite artworks. Thank you for your previewing the items in our July 21st, 2024 Chinese art auction and listen to the stories about deer.